I'm Emily Kent, hair and makeup artist and founder of the Wedding Hair Company. I've come in today to see the guys at Rock My Wedding to talk through some ideas for makeup looks, perhaps if you're a guest at a wedding or a bridesmaid looking to overhaul your makeup and give yourself a really nice glamorous look for the day. I'm also going to throw in some tips and tricks and insider secrets to help you achieve a really professional look on a really important and long day that needs good makeup. Okay, so we've thoroughly prepared the skin by using moisturiser to make sure there's no imperfections and that the base is going to go on really cleanly. So first things first, primer. I am so into primers. This is my favourite one of all time. It's from Mercier. This makes sure that the skin is really nice and even so that foundation clings to it evenly, there's no uneven pores and everything just looks really nice and professionally done. It's all about finding cheats ways of cheating the professionals to make sure that you look as good as everyone else at the wedding. So onto foundation. Because I have loads and loads of foundations, different colours, types, finishes, I've got a beauty of being able to pick whatever I like. But if you're looking for something, today we're going to go for a luminous finish. So it's really nice and light, not too heavy, not too cakey, and keeps the skin looking really young and fresh. This one's from Mercier. This is a BB cream. This one's from Mercier, which is an illuminating tinted moisturiser in 2 different colours. So I'm going to blend these together, get the perfect shade for Lauren, and that's going to give us a really nice finish on the skin. As a makeup artist, we obviously all use brushes, but let's be honest, we all use our fingers from time to time to just quickly put foundation on. There's no harm in doing that. They're really, really good tools. So if you don't want to invest in loads and loads of professional brushes, you know, pick wisely and spend the money where you need to. If you know, you're looking for different qualities but you find them in 2 different foundations, that's totally fine. You can mix them together, get luminosity from one, get coverage from another. That's a really, you know, normal practice in makeup artistry. So have a look around and look for the best products that are going to work for you. This is quite a new product on the market, these concealers from NARS, and quite honestly I have never come across a better concealer in my life. It has kicked all the other concealers out of my kit and I've got this in every shade they have. It's light, it's really, really, you know, easy to apply, it doesn't crease, it's just the most perfect concealer. So this is one of my must-have products and a really, really, really good product to have in your kit. With the concealer, I'm putting it on with a brush because I use these products on loads and loads of different people, so it's not hygienic but it's easy to put on just with your fingers. When you're making your face up with foundation and base, you really need to use powder for weddings, if you're a guest at a wedding, anytime, because powder is going to control the enemy, which is shine. When you're powdering your face, you need to make sure that the T-zone is really, really non-shiny. So anywhere across the top, down the middle of the nose and the chin, you don't want any shine on there. Then it's balancing it out, getting luminosity sort of through the cheeks so the face looks really nice and alive. So all through here needs powdering really, really nicely to stop any oil forming. This powder that I'm using from Chanel is really, really nice and light. It's also got a sort of luminous pinky tone through it, which keeps the skin looking light. And I think people can be a bit nervous of powder and think that it's going to make them look really, really heavily made up, but it really doesn't if it's a good quality powder. Getting your brows right is really important as well. I think a lot of people can forget about them, but they really do frame the eye incredibly well and really open the eyes out. They're really, really important. So a couple of things to be mindful of. If you get a brow pencil or if you use shadow, you need an eyebrow comb. You can get those individually, or a lot of them come with them on the end. This is really, really good for just going through and giving the brows a really good brush through, which already makes a massive difference, just getting them organised. So what you need to look for in a good brow pencil is not too much colour. It needs to be quite a flat colour so that it doesn't look too red or too golden. That's when they start to look really unnatural. So yeah, look for quite a khaki sort of colour which doesn't have too much tone through it, and that will keep the brows looking really natural, but then you can fill them in. Also, another really, really good tip is to spray the little brush on the end with hairspray if you've got very unruly brows, and then comb that through. That keeps them in control all day. As much as I love face primers, I probably love eye primers even more, and this is my favourite one at the moment. This is one from Benefit, cream formula. If you're going to bother doing eye makeup, you may as well give it the best chance of staying on, and that really does, you know, separate professional makeup from just everyday makeup. So investing in primers are a big, big must. Because the eye is a place on the face which moves around so much, it's liable to crease, which means that shadows and things that you put on the eye are going to move around and not look very good after very long. So that's essentially why primers are so important. I'm just going to coat the whole lid in this primer, and it makes the skin quite tacky, so whatever you put on top of it sticks to it a lot more evenly and is less likely to move around. Where there's a strong line there, I'm just going to pat through with my finger just to blend it through a bit, but it will all come good when the colours start to go on top. These Laura Mercier sticks are really, really good for home use because they're a quick way of getting colour on really easily, but with them being a cream formula, it makes the priming even more important because they are liable to glide around the face. So we're doing a sort of cheats version of a smoky eye. I think a lot of people think a smoky eye is really, really hard, but actually if you use products like this, it'll be really, really easy. On the eye that we've primed, we're just going to start to build up a bit of colour. We're going to use the darker colour towards the outside of the eye and the lighter colour towards the inside. This opens up the eye, makes the eye appear larger, and it gives a really, really nice shape to the eye. So at this point, do not worry if it starts to just look a little bit messy, because everything's going to be blended through and it will look great at the end. That's the lightest colour in the inside of the eye, and I'm going to use this nice soft brown in the middle and the darkest colour on the outside. At that stage you can see the colours quite clearly, so it's darkest through to lightest. So now we're going to start to blend them through, and that's going to give the really nice smoky wide-eyed look. Now a really good tip is the fact that this brush is now loaded up with colour, so we need to keep this because after we've put the liner on we can use it to sort of blend through, and this will be really useful. This eye pencil from Mercier is one of the most stubborn that I've ever come across, which in this instance is really, really good because once you get it on, you know it's not going to go very far. So we're just going to really softly line the eye and just give a bit more definition and widen the eye further still. You could just leave it there and add mascara, but we're going to open the eye out a little bit more, so we're just going to use a little bit of the liner underneath the eye and then use the brush which has got those colours all loaded through. So really start off small, you know, you can always add more but you can't take it away that easily, so if you're not quite sure what you're doing, just really go in really lightly. Then we're just going to take this brush again and just sweep over that liner that we've just done. That'll just soften it and make it look really, really nice. So eyelash curlers are an absolute must. Lauren's got actually incredible eyelashes, but it always helps to just boost them a little bit more. A really good tip is when you go in, not to just do one curl, but two. So start halfway down the lash and then another 25% up, so it creates a softer bend rather than a really aggressive kink in the lashes. So that's your first one, and a little bit further up, almost just on the tips. And rather than creating an L shape, it creates a much smoother general curve. I quite often will use two different mascaras on each client, so you might want one which is a really tight comb if the lashes are quite difficult to separate, or one which has got a lot of product on the brush so that you get a really sort of wet black look. So I'm going to use the Zoom Fast Black Lash from MAC. That's a really, really intensely black and quite wet mascara. And then I'm going to go in over the top of that with this Laura Mercier brush, which is really, really big. By using two different mascaras, you're getting the benefit, you know, two different shaped brushes. Between each coat, it's good to give it a couple of seconds or 30 seconds to dry. Each time it dries and you layer it over, you're going to get a much more defined look. This is probably, even though it's small, is one of my favourite bits in my whole kit. I recommend this to so many clients because it's so good for getting good lashes at home on your own. It's just a really simple comb, which once you've put the mascara through, if you look down, you can just go back in with a really nice small tooth comb and separate everything. People are worried, I think, when you're putting a lot of mascara on that it's just going to go clumpy and you're going to end up with way too much product, and then you've got spidery lashes and you have to take it all off and start again. This really helps to just get everything organised, remove excess product but still keep the lashes nice and fanned out. And less is definitely more on the bottom. It's really difficult to rectify mistakes on the bottom lashes, so go in really, really gently with the mascara. If you're not good at mascara, this is going to be your best friend. Now we've done both of the eyes, if you want to take the look and make it a little bit more dramatic and you're feeling a bit braver, we can highlight and accentuate under the brows. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of the primer that we used across the whole lid, and then I'm going to dust this really nice soft gold sheen underneath the brow, which lifts the brow and gives the eye a little bit more drama. At this point, we've still got a little bit of product left on both the foundation brush and the powder brush, so if you've had any little slip-ups underneath the eye at this time, it's a really good opportunity to go back over and just rectify anything. Just clean up the skin underneath the eye in case you've had any fallout, and then just seal it back in again without obviously layering too much product over the top, just to clean up. Contouring is something which, you know, people talk about as a makeup artist. You hear about it a lot and stuff, and I think it makes people a bit nervous, but truly all you're doing is using a contrasting shade just to create a little bit of angle on the face so that it sculpts the face in and accentuates the cheekbones. Hoola from Benefit is the only product they do for this. It's the only colour, which says a lot about the fact that it's been around for such a long time. It's a really universal product and it can, you know, cater for a lot of different skin tones. This brush is fantastic for contouring. It's a really nice soft brush from NARS. It's called a kabuki brush. It's a really interesting shape, and the handle, it really fits nicely into the hand. So you just want to take a really, really tiny bit of product, dust the excess off, and all we're looking to do is just softly pat it underneath the cheekbones. The way you sort of naturally smile, it brings out the shape of the cheek. All we're looking to do is just create a really soft sort of shadow so that it accentuates the cheekbone. We're also going to add a tiny bit of blush to the cheeks, but I'm talking tiny. We don't obviously want big, you know, clown rosy cheeks. Just a tiny bit of this really nice NARS Angelica blush, which is a really sort of soft, pretty pink. Just work a tiny bit of that into the apple of the cheek, above the contouring, and it just brings a really nice, young, fresh finish to the look. I speak about this product all the time. I'm waiting for something to come and beat it, because when I have a favourite product, I'm always still looking for something which is better than it, and I've never found anything better than this lip gloss for weddings. So the reason I love this is because it's just so simple and easy to apply. When you don't want a lot of colour on the lips and you just want a really nice soft sheen, it comes in 3 colours, a peach, a nude and a pink, so you know, all different kind of skin tones it's going to suit. Sometimes lip glosses can go really sticky, they're quite high maintenance, they don't look very good after a couple of hours. This is a tried and tested product, and it is fantastic for just staying on, being really seamless and easy to wear. So I'm just going to sweep a really minimal amount of this over the lip with a brush, but you can apply it from the tube. It's a really good applicator. What I also really like about this is, in the beginning it looks quite shiny, but after sort of 5–10 minutes it just softens and you can barely see any shine. It just gives a really nice hint of a colour, and it's really nice and nourishing for the lips as well. Using these products, we've just created a really natural effect, really camera ready. So if you're an important guest at the wedding, maybe you're a bridesmaid, maybe you're, you know, a guest of honour or something, you look really good on camera, but it's not too heavy, easy to apply, and just gives a really nice, long-lasting, all-day, luxurious finish.